On the 15th of November, I sat down with my doctor to discuss the results of a recent CT and X-ray scan of my chest, post a pre-medical for a job, and the results came back that I had a 20 centimetre large tumour in my chest. I think I was in denial at the start, but then when the doctor said the words, "I'm so sorry," the reality kicked in that this was very serious, and that something would need to be done pretty quick. Leaving the doctors that day, the feelings that I was going through was a lot of fear, a sense of loss, out of control. Me being a fix-it type of person, this was something I definitely can't do anything about. It was a very dark season, to be honest, just that afternoon and obviously the weeks to follow, and making that call to my wife and to my parents was very, very difficult. I couldn't get the words out. As a talkative person, it stopped me in my tracks, and it was very difficult because there was that battle of the fears that I was feeling, but also the faith that I know that God's in this somehow. You know, during this time, I found myself struggling to sometimes, balance the idea of I've got so much fear. I've got days where it was controlling my decisions and how I thought about the situation. Myself Googling things that were on reports that were obviously all negative, because that's what Google does, and finding myself, as much as I know, or the reality was very dark, this news, knowing that God was with me was so key. The elephant in the room would have been those the topics of, what if this is going to take my life? What if this is something that, whether it's complications in surgery, complications in treatments, or it itself, that takes me out of the picture, and I'm now thinking about Mel, my wife. I'm sitting in the lounge room looking at pictures of us, wedding day pictures, and just going, I don't want her to be looking at a picture of us together and I'm not even in the picture anymore, in real life. And we started to have some conversations around keeping it real, like this is what we need to now go through, but we never ever spoke life into the reality of me not making it, or me going through even worse situations because of this. We actually started to speak faith over it. My wife prayed for me regularly. We prayed together. We obviously had people around us that were praying for me and believing for miracles, but even that idea of, even if this isn't, miraculously taken away, or a nice easy procedure, and this is actually a real hard road down the track, we started to have those conversations. The start of 2023, hit the ground running with a lot of health focused, Mel and myself together, losing weight, changing some habits with food, got big ministry dreams in our hearts of doing this together with our church, and work was going great. Mel's life's going great with some things, some study that I'm doing. Everything's going so swimmingly well, and out of nowhere, just before I'm about to step into potentially a new role with Civic Assist, this pre-medical highlights, this big curveball, and I did start asking straight away as I left that doctor's room that day, why me? What has this got to do with this, with what you've put on my heart for this year? The questions of, are you with me? The questions of, I'm feeling so lonely, I need you, God. Those were all real questions in my heart that, honestly, from that day, and then most days, I was asking those questions because that was part of my soul, part of my emotions, part of how I was feeling, that I needed to feel. I couldn't just push it down deep. I had to express it. A huge part of how I was able to get through every day leading up to the big surgery was that weight of support, the weight of prayer, that security that I've got heaps of people in my life, not just within my pastoral team, the church family and my own family, but even through work and just people in my life that everyone, not one person, I believe, was not wishing the best or praying for me. And as I said before, like the weight of fear can be in this season, and yet a greater weight was that prayer and believing that God, you're going to get all the glory in this, whether it's the miracle, whether it's a full successful surgery or not, whether it's a worst case scenario. I got myself to that place with the amount of support and faith-filled people in my life to start declaring that, God, whatever it is, even if you get all the glory.